Here is how you use the Google Pixel 9. So let's first of all look around the phone. At the bottom of the phone, we have the USB-C charging port. To the left, we have a speaker. We have a microphone. And then we have the SIM card slot. On the right-hand side of the phone, we have the sleep button or power button. We have volume up, volume down. At the top, we just have a microphone here. If you're in the United States, some of the models will have this seemingly port, and it looks like this. This is just the millimeter wave 5G band, so you can't open this one. And on the left hand side, we have nothing. On the back, we have our two cameras, the ultra wide and the wide camera. We then have the flash and another microphone. These things here are the antenna bands, so these allow your phone to connect to the cell towers and Wi-Fi networks. Inside of the box, we only get a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. You need to buy a USB-C charging brick separately if you don't have one. And if you want the fastest charging, you need to buy Google specific charging brick. I'll cover where to buy that in a bit. And you see this Pixel 9 box. If you flip this one over, there's this hidden leaflet, and you can actually pull this one out, and inside of this leaflet you will get the SIM ejector tool, which we can use to insert the SIM card into the phone. With Pixel 9 we don't get this adapter anymore. This is an adapter which you would use if you need to transfer data from your old phone. You'd connect your old phone's charger to this adapter, then this adapter into the phone. But this is not coming in the box, so you may need to buy a USB-A to USB-C adapter if you are transferring data from your old phone and the cable isn't connecting. Now on the phone itself, the first thing we're going to want to do is insert the SIM card. So at the bottom of the phone, we see that outline in a hole. This is the SIM card tray. And so we're going to get the SIM ejector tool, and we will insert the thin end of the ejector tool into the hole. We'll then push down and release once the tray partially ejects. With Pixel 9, they make it quite hard to, remove the tray, but this top part here, where the curve is, you just get your nail and then just pull the tray out like this. Google Pixel 9 only has a single nano SIM card slot. There is no micro SD card slot, and there's no dual physical SIM. There's only one physical SIM and one eSIM. So we'll get our SIM card here, and this contact, sometimes people have issues where they insert the SIM card and they're not getting any signal. If that's something that happens to you, it's this contact here. It may be dirty, so you just need to give it a clean, like a t-shirt or microfiber cloth. I'd recommend doing that if you have connection issues. So to put the SIM card in, we match the ridge of the SIM card with the ridge of the SIM card tray, and then the SIM card should just click in like this. If you're having problems, your tray may be the wrong way around, so just flip the tray over. And then we match the hole of the phone with the hole of the SIM card tray, and then the SIM card tray should push back into the phone. You can insert the SIM card at any time. You will notice my phone's already set up. If your phone's not set up, you can insert the SIM card then, or after the phone is set up. It does not matter at all. Now, if we were looking into transferring data from maybe an old phone you have around, if the phone is not set up, you will head to the setup using another device screen, and that's where you transfer data. If your phone's already set up, you can still transfer data from your old phone. It will merge the data from your old phone to, the Pixel 9, so you won't actually lose any data that you already have stored. You do that by opening settings, and then we're going to scroll all the way down until we see backup or copy data. And then we'll select the copy data option, start, and then it'll bring you to the same screen, and you just tap on what old phone you have and then follow the on-screen instructions. I have dedicated transfer data videos on my YouTube page. You can always search for them in the YouTube search bar. So when we get our phone, maybe you used iPhone or you haven't used Android, here's how we navigate the device. So we have our home screen, and then if we swipe up, we have the app drawer. And so this is where all of the apps which are installed on your Pixel are stored. The home screen is just the apps that you want to be quickly accessed. Those are put on the home screen. So if we swipe down from the top, this is where we view our notifications. We have our quick toggles here, and you can just tap these to turn them on or off. And some of them allow you to long press to reveal more settings. If we swipe down from the top again, we have all of our quick toggles, and here is the brightness slider as well, where we can change the brightness. At the bottom, we have the power button. This is what you tap to turn off or restart your phone. We have a settings shortcut, so that will open up the settings app. And if we swipe across, we can see more quick toggles, which we can tap to turn on or off. The pencil here is where you would add or remove quick toggles. So if you want to customize this, you tap the pencil and you just long press and then drag around and drop the tiles to move them around. Now, if I open up an application, let's say settings, and I want to go home, well, on the Pixel 9, we have this bar here. We don't have buttons. So if we want to go home, enter multitasking, to just use the gesture navigation. Where this bar is, we flick up and release with our finger. So I'll do that again. I'm going to do a flick up motion, and as I finish the motion, I'll release my finger from the touchscreen like this. When you close out of an app this way, the app still remains in the background. So if you want to fully close out of an app, you don't have to do this all the time, but it does help with the battery life of the phone. What we do instead is we'll do the same motion, but we're going to flick up, hold our finger instead, and then release. So flick up, hold, release. And how this phone works is when you flick up and hold, the phone will vibrate. You'll feel a little vibration. And when you feel that vibration, that is the cue to release your finger from the touchscreen. And that just helps you quickly open multitasking or go home. So inside of the multitasking, this is where you can see all of your open apps in the background. And so to close out of an app, where the app preview is, you can flick up like this, or we can swipe across and then select the clear all option, and then that will clear out of all of the applications like that. Now, if we look at the side of the phone, we have the power button, which sleeps the phone and wakes it if we click it once. Now, if we long press this button, on an older phone you may have, it would activate the power menu. But on Google Pixel 9, when I long press this one, you're going to notice it opens up this thing called Gemini. So Gemini is the new AI chatbot. So I'll skip the tool. And when we activate this, imagine you have a friend, very smart friend, and he just knows a lot of stuff. And so with Gemini, you can ask it to do things on your phone, like start a timer, call someone, anything that you want to do on your phone, the Google Gemini can do. But also, if you're talking to someone, you have questions, Gemini can answer them. So if I activate Gemini, boss 5+5. So it didn't understand that I said what's. So it still got it though. You can see it does the calculations. Set a 10-minute timer. So you can see you just started the timer there. Who is your favorite Google employee? It can't answer every question because they restrict the AI. So for example, it won't tell me their favorite Google employee, but you can use that to do a bunch of stuff. To actually access the power menu, what you do instead is they've changed it. So you need to click and release both power and volume up at the same time. So if I click and release these two together, that will put us into the power menu, and you can tap power off to restart. But also remember, if we swipe down from the top twice, we have that power icon, and that will bring you to the exact same menu. Now, there's some more key combinations with power and volume up. So first thing, if you were to long press these two together, that would forcefully restart the phone. So I'm not going to do that for this video, but if you were to try and press and hold these two down for 10 seconds, the screen would go black and it would forcefully turn the phone off. And then you would just press and hold the power button to turn it back on. Now, if we have the power and volume down and we click and release these two together, that is how we take a screenshot. So you can see it takes a screenshot, and I'll do that one more time. Click release power volume down to take the screenshot. Some people don't like clicking these two buttons together. So alternatively, if you want to capture what's on your screen, you want to take a screenshot, we can enter the multitasking, and then you look for the app where it had the information you wanted to screenshot. So let's say the clock app, and we tap the screenshot button here, and then that one's going to take a screenshot, and I didn't have to press any of the buttons. And also, where the power button is, we can double click this power button. So click, and that will open up the camera app quickly. So, you need to quickly take a picture. Even from the lock screen, you go click, you're in the camera, you can quickly take a picture. Speaking of the camera, let's open up the camera app. And so with the Google Pixels, the camera app is in a unique position. So Google phones, compared to iPhones, use a completely unique way. So if you look at the iPhone and Samsung, these apps are basically the same. However, with Google, they've changed it up. So on the Google phones, where you see the camera icon, when this is selected, what you see here are all photo modes. So there are different ways of taking photos. The camcorder icon, when you tap this one, these are all different ways to take videos. So if you choose photo or video, if you want to take a picture or start a recording, you tap this shutter button here. This icon to the right flips the camera from front camera to rear camera. This is the zooms. So you tap this to change the zooms, to zoom in or zoom out. Or you can slide across to finally set the zoom you would like. We also have the three lines at the bottom right. And this is where you change things like the brightness, shadow, and the white balance. And if you change this, just swipe down and it'll bring you back here. At the bottom left, this is just the basic settings. So more light is the flash, you can change that. Top shot, if you're taking pictures, it will take a picture and a video. Timer is a countdown before the picture's taken. Macro focus is just, it will switch the camera lens to the ultra wide camera when you're really close to an object, and that just helps the phone take really close up pictures. And the ratio is just like the aspect ratio here. By default, it is 4:3 down. You can change that to 16:9. And if we go to the video modes, the options here are similar with the flash, for example, and the macro focus, but you have things like resolution, frames per second. The higher these are set, the higher the quality, the smoother the video. However, the more file size that will take up on your phone. Video stabilization, you want to leave that one as it is. If you set this to the active, it will reduce the shake of your video, but it will zoom in, if that makes sense. So you would lose quality. You can see it's zoomed to 2.2 times, so you won't have as much captured. If you switch from, let's say, a Samsung phone, there is no way to take burst pictures on this phone. You can see here, no way. On Samsung, you just swipe down. and so that's not a possibility. However, you can still, like Samsung's, if you're on a photo mode, you long press the shutter button and that will quickly start recording a video if you need to quickly record something. If you release your finger, it will stop the recording, and if you swipe to the left, you can lock it so you can go hands-free. Only use this way of recording if you need to quickly record something. Otherwise, the quality of this video is a lot lower than if you tap the video mode and then start recording through here. This icon on the left shows what you've taken, whether it's a video or photo, and you need to swipe across to the left, because if you keep on swiping to the right, it will just take you back to the camera app. If you tap the settings icon here, we have more settings, so we can go into more settings, and there are more advanced settings you can change. The only setting that is worth changing is the save selfies as previewed. So this makes it so when you take a front camera picture, known as selfie picture, the preview you see on the phone is the final result that it saves. By default, it flips the image. But if you tap that one, and then I take a selfie, what you saw on the preview is the final result. If it's off, it flips the image and it is off by default. Many users, especially the iPhone users, want to do this thing called split screen. And so this is having multiple apps at once that are viewable on the phone. So maybe you have your notes and then do on side of a shopping app, for example. So if we want to do the split screen, we need to first open up the two apps we want to split screen. So I'll open settings, go out, then I'll open my second app, which is Gmail, and I'll stay in it. We then need to enter the multitasking by swiping up and holding, then release. And then we tap the app icon we see here, and then we select the split screen option. We then tap the second app, and that will enter us into the split screen multitasking for Google Pixel 9. And we can swipe this white bar up and down to change the size, and we can double tap the white bar to flip what is on the top and what's on the bottom. And if you swipe fully down, you close the bottom app, or if you swipe fully up, try that again, you'll close out of the top app. Now, on the topic of customization, you may notice I have my default wallpaper and also the lock screen, default lock screen wallpaper. So on the topic of customization, the first thing you need to know is Google does not allow you to remove the search bar on your home screen. So I can long press this one, it just won't let me remove it. On Samsung, you can remove it. On any other phone, they let you remove it, but because it's a Google phone, they prevent this. That's the first thing. The Google News area, where you can see the news, this can be removed, stuff like that. And a bunch of other things we can change on our home screen and lock screen. So for customization, we long press on the empty space of our home screen. And so we'll first go into wallpaper and style. In here, you have the color themes. You can see it changes the colors and the theme of your operating system. And if we want to change the wallpaper for either our lock screen or home screen, we'll look for the wallpapers area and we'll tap on more wallpapers. And then we can just set a wallpaper here. My photos means you can use, a picture you've taken or downloaded as a wallpaper. We have these default wallpapers, and you even have this thing called AI wallpaper, which allows you to generate a wallpaper using the Google AI. When you choose a wallpaper, so I'll choose this one, you see we have lock screen, home screen. This just shows you how that wallpaper would look like if it was on your lock screen, or how it looked like if it was on your home screen. So I'll download this one, and then I'll choose the set wallpaper option. And then under set wallpaper on, we can choose if we want it just on our home screen, lock screen, or the home and lock screens. So I'll choose home and lock screens, and now we have changed the wallpaper. You can also change the app grid, which is just how many apps you can store on your device. You tap that to change it. And under the lock screen, the main thing here is that clock. So we can swipe across to change the look of the clock. And then you have these buttons here, and that can change the color and the theme as well. Under the clock color and size, we can manually set the color of the clock and the intensity of that color as well. And under size, choose dynamic, we can choose a small clock like that. If we scroll down, we see the shortcuts option. So if there's an app you frequently open from your lock screen, excluding the camera because you can just double click the power button, but if there's an app and you just want to be able to quickly open it without going home and stuff like that, under the shortcuts, we can tap on this one, and then we can choose here what shortcuts we want to have set. So left shortcut, right shortcut. Currently it's limited, but in the future you'll be able to select any app that you want to open up. Or at this time, you have these options. The flashlight's my favorite one, so I'll set that one. And then the right shortcut, I'll set wallet, which is the Google Pay. So what you do is you long press the shortcut, and then you can see, for example, that activated the flash. If I long press it, it will turn off the flash. To keep your phone secure, you're going to want to set a pattern password or PIN, and also a fingerprint or a face. So if we want to change, we'll set a pattern password or PIN, or set up face unlock, face ID, or the fingerprint. Then we're going to open up the settings, and then we will scroll all the way down until we see security and privacy. And then we will select the device unlock option. And then under the screen lock, you select this one, enter in your login, and this is where you can choose a pattern password or PIN. And if we head out of that, under the fingerprint and face unlock, we can tap on this one, and we enter in our login, and we can set up a face unlock or a fingerprint unlock. The fingerprint in Google Pixel 9, if I go through this, the fingerprint is now in the phone screen. On the older Pixels, there was like a sensor on the back of the phone, but now you just long press the sensor under the screen. Google Pixel 9 has updated their sensor. So if you heard about the Pixel 8, 7s and 6s, many people say that the sensors are very bad, but on Pixel 9, you have nothing to worry about. The sensors are now upgraded, and they don't have any, scanning issues that you'd have on the older Pixels. So if I just show you, if I go to the lock screen, you can see unlocks nice and quick. Now, one thing, if you're switching from Samsung, on Samsung phones, you can just long press your finger on the area where the fingerprint is, and it will unlock the phone. However, on Google, you do have to wake the screen, either double tap or you click the power button. Then you put your fingerprint in, so it is slower to unlock the Pixel. So just keep that one in mind. If you want to download apps on the Google Pixel 9, then we use the Google Play Store. So in order to download apps in Google Pixel 9, we will open up Google Play Store. If you don't have a Google account, you're going to want to create one, not just for your Google Pixel, but many Google services, even YouTube, Google. Having a Google account is an advantage, not a disadvantage. And so you have the games category, the apps category, the search, and you can just tap on search to search up whatever you want. Now in my case, I'm going to search up for the wallet. The reason why I search up for wallet is because we'll see the Google Wallet app. On the Google phones and on new phones, the companies, they don't want you to carry wallets anymore because you can add your credit or debit cards into these phones and then use your phone to make payments on behalf of your card. So if we want to set that one up, if we want to, in order to set up Google Pay in the Google Pixel 9, we first need to download the Google Wallet app, and this is completely free from Google Play. Once we open this one up, patiently wait for that one to load, we will just skip through until we see our wallet home screen, and then we'll choose the add payment card or add to wallet option. You just want to add your card into the Google Wallet by either tapping the new credit or debit card and entering your information. Remember, Google won't sell you, your card information, so nothing to worry about. Or if you have used Google Pay on a website before, you can just put this one in. So I'll just add my card, and then under choose how to verify, you do need to verify your card with your banking app. If you don't do this, the card just won't work. So I'm going to open up my banking app, and I do use iPhone, okay, but I'll tap add to Google Pay here, and then that will add my card in. This is my spare phone. I have the banking app here. If your Google is your only phone, then you want to open up the banking app on your Google phone. And so once you're ready to use the Google Pay, we'll have to do extra verification. There we go. And so if we want to start making payments from our lock screen, there should be this wallet shortcut. If not, just look in the settings for lock screen, you'll find it. And if we long press this one and then enter in our fingerprint, this brings us into the wallet app. And so when we're near a card reader, we would just put our phone near the reader, just like you would with a card, and that will scan it, and it just acts like a card. Alternatively, from your lock screen, you can swipe down once and then tap the wallet, and then you log in. It will put you here as well. Now, I haven't covered literally everything with the Google Pixel 9, but I hope the stuff I have covered does help you out. Any questions, let me know, and I'll try and answer them. And yeah, bye-bye.